because there's too many things to read. You don't like it. Who doesn't like word problems because you feel like you never know where to start? Who doesn't like word problems because they feel like it's tricking them all the time? Okay, I'm hoping that these aren't any of those. These are short. It's not like I give you a paragraph to read. It's just a sentence. But yes, you do need to read it. It should help you set it up. I'm going to give you 3 strategies to help you set the problem up correctly so you know what to do. And there shouldn't be much trick stuff in it. Okay? All right. For each of the following, sketch the situation. So it's telling us to sketch something first. That's step number 1. Make sure to include any known, unknown side lengths, and angle measures. That's step 2. Then step 3 says, then use trigonometric ratios to find the unknown information. And we know that trigonometric information is SOHCAHTOA, sine, cosine, and tangent. SOHCAHTOA. Okay? All right. So now we know we're 3 steps. 1, we draw a picture. 2, we write any known, unknown, and angle measures. 3, we use trig ratios to solve. Okay? All right. A boy is flying a kite. So we know we've got a kite. It's up in the air somewhere. We know we're flying it. Do you need to draw a kite like I'm drawing a kite?
No.
No. It's just fun. Okay? So a boy is flying a kite. He lets out a string that's 300 feet of string, which makes an angle with the ground. Angle with the ground. Okay, cool. Of 38 degrees. It asked us how high above the ground it is. So my x, what I'm trying to find, it says how high above the ground. Do I put that on the bottom or on the side?
Side.
The side, because it wants to know how high above it is, right? It doesn't want to know the length on the ground. Okay. So I drew my picture. Now, I want you guys to label it. Here's 38 degrees. Can somebody tell me what x is to 38? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
Opposite.
Good. What is 300?
Hypotenuse.
What's the hypotenuse? Okay. I have O and H. So, good. I use sine. So I'm going to use sine of the angle equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. That's how I'm setting it up. So I'm going to write sine of 38 equals x over 300. Now what do I do to get x by itself? Not divide, but times by 300.
Why does that class just end?
Okay, so now I'm going to put in my calculator. 300 sine 38. And I get 184.7, because I'm going to round up, feet equals x. Questions, comments, concerns about that?
Nope.
All right, the next one. I want you to draw the picture on your own as I'm reading it to you. And label the angle and feet, whatever it's given. That's all I want you to do. And then I'm going to walk around and check. A ladder leaning against a wall makes an angle of 74 degrees with the ground. If the foot of the ladder is 6.5 feet from the wall, how high on the wall is the ladder? Draw that picture. If you're having trouble on walking around, let me know. Read it a second time if you're struggling.
weighing 100 200 ounces.
Ground. 74 degrees with the ladder and the ground. Okay, you ready to see my picture? See if yours is right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, we ready? Okay. So, I don't like to read the whole thing and then make the picture. I like to make the picture as I go. So a ladder leans against the wall. So I got to draw my ladder leaning first. Okay? It's leaning against a wall. Grab one of those. Okay. So here's my ladder leaning against the wall. It makes an angle with the ground 74 degrees. See how I'm doing it as I go? Otherwise I get mixed up. If I read the whole thing and then stop and draw my picture. So I did a ladder leaning. I made it 74 degrees with the ground. If the foot of the ladder, so that's the bottom, from the wall is 6.5 feet. See how I went through all of my pieces like that? Okay. Now it wants to know how high on the wall that ladder is. Okay, so from 74 degrees, what is x to 74 degrees? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Let's look. Did I pick it up? Opposite. 6.5 is the adjacent. Okay, which one of SOHCAHTOA uses opposite and adjacent? Tan. Yep, TOA. So we're going to go tan of the angle equals the opposite over the adjacent. So tan of 74 degrees equals x over 6.5. So now I times by 6.5, and I put 6.5 tan 74 in my calculator. What does it equal? Put in your calculator. 22.7 feet. Okay. The next one, I want to try this again. The only thing I want you to add is I want everybody to label opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Okay? So, I think you should take up your pencil and draw it as I am reading it. Are you ready? A straight road to the top of a hill is 2,500 feet long. A straight road to the top of the hill is 2,500 feet long. It makes an angle of 12 degrees with the horizontal. It makes an angle with the horizontal. Horizontal's this way, right? Okay? Of 12 degrees. So the road and the horizontal makes an angle of 12 degrees. Find the height of the hill. So where's your x going to be? Find the height of the hill. Okay? Now once you draw your picture and you put in where x goes 12 degrees and 2,500 feet, now you label opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. road. Part where are you going down here on your road? Okay, so you're going to draw a triangle where your road is going up a hill, 2,500. What's left? 12 degrees is between the road and the horizontal. That's perfect. And then you want to find the height of the hill. Okay, from the level of talking, I'm assuming you guys are ready. So I need you to be quiet in 5, 4, 3, 2. Shh. Okay, so here's my road. It's 2,500 feet. Why did I know it was the slanted part? Because it said it went to the top of the hill. I'm going to make an angle with the horizontal, 12 degrees. Horizontal goes right and left. Okay? And then I want to find the height of the hill. Now, x is my what? Good. And my 2,500 is my? So I'm going to use which trig function? Sine, yeah. The sine of the angle equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. So sine of 12 equals x over 2,500. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2,500. And I'm going to put 2,500 sine 12 in my calculator, and I'm going to get x equals what? Somebody do it for me. I'm not doing it. 500 and what? Yep. 0.8 feet. Okay. All right, for the next one, I want you to do these three things. I want you to label it with the angle and the feet that it gives you. I want you to label it opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse, whatever it is. And then I want you to pick the trig function, sine, cosine, or tangent. You ready? You don't have to solve it, but you have to do everything else. An airplane climbs at an angle of 11 degrees with the ground. Let me repeat that sentence because you should draw that in right now. An airplane, so just draw a line as if the airplane's taking off. Okay? An airplane climbs at an angle of 11 degrees with the ground. Find the ground distance if it has traveled when it has attained an altitude of 400 feet. Who knows what altitude means? Height. An altitude of 400 feet. So you want to draw in your picture, label the 11 degrees and 400 feet. If you're done with that, label it opposite, hypotenuse, or adjacent. If you're done with that, pick sine, cosine, or tangent. Okay, let's read it one more time. An airplane climbs at 11 degrees with the ground. We want to find the ground distance. Think about where that's going to be. Your ground distance when the height is 400 feet. Your altitude. Make sure you put the altitude as 400 feet.
Good.
Who's stuck? Let me know.
www.murphy.org.
Would you put the 400 on the ground or the vertical line?
Okay, I need your attention because I don't really want you to solve this problem because there's a trick. So I want you to pause.
You tricked me with no tricks.
There's no tricks, but there's a mathematical issue. Okay? So the question doesn't have a trick in it, but it has a mathematical issue. Okay. So an airplane climbs at an angle of 11 degrees with the ground. See, I finished that sentence. Find the ground distance. That's my x. It has traveled when it has attained an altitude. Altitude means height of 400 feet. Okay? 400 is my opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse. X is my. So I want to use which one? So tan. Tan of the angle equals the opposite over the adjacent. So tan of 11 equals 400 over x. What's on the bottom of that fraction? What's on the bottom of my fraction? So can I just multiply 400 on both sides? No. So I have to multiply x on both sides. This just means an extra step. X tan of 11 equals 400. X and tan are being multiplied together. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I divide by tan 11. So I just plug this in the calculator. 400 tan 11. 400 divided by tan 11. 400 divided by tan 11. X is 2,057.8 feet. Okay? You have the rest of the hour to work on the back. Remember, you just have those 3 questions. You don't have to do number 3. Okay? I get started.